So when he started shaking my legs, the rest of my body started moving back and forth. I was like, I must look like a giant water balloon sitting on his table. He's just shaking me around. Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. And today we are going to talk about healthcare because that's what's in our life currently that I feel like we need to discuss. It happened again. My old fat knee syndrome that I have. I was at work today, turned my chair. You know, it's like a rolly chair. Just turned it.
Yeah. So like your knee was like...
My knee locked up.
At a weird angle.
I was in immense pain, and this is like the fifth time it's happened now since the initial knee give out issue in front of my boss thing that happened. And this time was pretty bad. This time my whole leg was throbbing, and I needed to go to a doctor, you know, because I don't do that. I don't go to the doctor. It's just not in my nature, I guess.
You don't ever get sick either. Like, the entire time we've been married, you've gone to the doctor way more for injuries than you have due to illness.
Yeah. I honestly can't even think of a time that I went to the doctor for like an illness, like a sickness.
I know there was one time you and I were both really sick and we both went at the same time.
Oh, that might have been it.
And that was years ago.
Well, it's my knee. The first thing I do is when we decide, it's like there's these two different places we can go. So we picked one. And I called him and I tell him my problem because what I don't want to happen, because I know this happens in the healthcare, is I go and they're like, oh, well, we're not really the kind of doctor that looks at that, you know? So I called him and I was like, hey, my knee is doing this thing where it locks up. I have this enormous amount of pain. It's happened like 5 times. It's made a weird clicky noise. Is that what you told them when you called? Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you the ones that I need to come see? Because I've got to nip this in the bud. Like, I've got to get this. And they were like, oh, absolutely. We can. It sounds like we need to get you straight into an x-ray. And I was like, oh, x-ray. That sounds good to me because nothing really looks crazy on the outside of my leg. I mean, it looks a little swollen, but whatever it is definitely on the inside. So I'm on board. Let's do this. I asked the lady, like, do I need to make an appointment? And she goes, no, we accept walk-ins. We're good to go. Just come on up. So I go. When I walk in there, Katie, there were almost 30 people sitting in this lobby. And it's not a big lobby. It looked like we was fixing to go into a concert.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, it was a lot of people for this size building. Well, I was like, oh, I'm here. So I walk up there and they call me over to the window, you know. So what's going on? And she acted fine. Like, it's good to go. Nothing's out of the ordinary. And I'm like, it looks like something's out of the ordinary. It looks like there's some problems.
Like, are they that busy every day?
Yeah. So this is the first thing that happens. She's having me sign this paperwork, you know, and do these weird things. And I told her I was there. I was like, yeah, my leg is killing me. And the next thing I have to do is stand at the window for 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm here because it hurts to stand. Can I do this paperwork like in a chair over there? But anyways, I stand there, get it all done, and then I wander off and find a seat, you know, by myself. Well, I can tell you there was almost 30 people because after I was sitting there for a few minutes, I decided to count them because, you know, I'm bored. And there were 26. And I pulled some statistics out of the group because I was starting to feel uneasy about the situation. The one thing that stood out right off the bat was 7 of the 26 people have face masks on.
Oh,
and
Lord. Like the kind like I'm sick and I have something like really freaking bad.
Yeah.
That you don't need to get.
Right. Or it's people that don't want to get something.
True.
So I see the 7 people and I'm like, well, that makes me uncomfortable, but now I want one. I want a mask now. Because
did you get a mask?
No, I didn't get a mask.
Why?
Because
ew! You breathe that germy air. Don't be bringing that germy air home.
There was another person there who was missing patches of hair.
What do you mean missing patches of hair? Not
like
not just male pattern baldness.
No,
but
no, and not like chemo or anything.
Like they pull it out?
Like I don't know. I didn't see it happen. I just know there were patches of hair missing. So there's 26 people. 7 people are wearing masks. One person's hair is missing in chunks. But there was something else that was like, oh, the nurses, I'm assuming it's the nurses that come out and they call people by their name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're paying attention. When that door opens, you're like, it's like a deer hearing a twig snap in the woods.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they fix to call my name. They fix to call my name. And there's a lot of different people that are coming out calling names because there's like 9 doctors that work in this building. You know, and it's always nurses and, you know, they're coming out and they're talking. And then, the door opens, you know, I look and this nurse walks out and he pretty much has, well, I thought it was a nurse. But he pretty much has a mullet.
Like, how long are you talking about?
Oh, it's long. Oh, no,
like
it's
Billy Ray Cyrus long?
Oh yeah, down onto his back. When I say almost a mullet, is because it almost looked like he had long hair and just kind of like sent it all back.
Like styled it.
Yeah,
into a
yeah.
mullet
But like the stuff,
fashion?
but the stuff on the side was definitely trimmed down low.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the difference was the hair on the front was going backwards, whereas in a mullet most of the time it's like
It's short.
yeah, it's short.
Okay.
And he called somebody's name. And then I was like, And I felt bad about it because like,
You just judged this man.
I did off of his hairdo. I have a mohawk. Who the hell am I to look at somebody's hair and think anything of it? So I was like, okay, it's cool. But you know, all of those things, there was still one more thing that really set me like off tilt. Something that was very unsettling. There were some children that were there, I'm assuming because they needed to see the doctor as well. Now, 2 of the kids were crying. That's okay. You know, they were toddlers. I have toddlers. That's not out of the ordinary. You know what was out of the ordinary? There was a 3rd child. He had to be like 4 or 5. And he was laying on his back on the ground, staring at the ceiling and not saying anything.
Like the whole time?
The whole time.
So do you know what was like going? Was he sick? Was he ill? Was
there had something.
he traumatized?
Something. Because little kids just don't just lay down.
Oh, I know.
Like one of the worst parts of our days is when we go, okay, little kids, it's time to lay down. And they're like,
No.
you can go to hell. I'm not laying anywhere. I mean, that's basically like if you and I were to get into an argument the same way that we get into an argument with our kids at bedtime, it would lead to a fight.
Like, what do you mean?
'Cause
What? I'm confused.
I mean, like, okay.
What?
As soon as we look at our kids and go, all right, guys, it's bedtime, they hate us.
Oh, yeah.
They
We
hate
are,
us.
as of that moment, we are the enemy.
Yeah. Like the only reason we win that argument every night is because we're the parents.
Because it comes down to we're bigger than they are. And we can make them go to bed.
Right. The point is,
If we couldn't like physically make them and they figured it out.
oh yeah,
Oh my God.
you and I, if you felt really strongly about not doing something and I felt really strongly about doing something and we both had the same intensity that us and the kids have towards each other at night about bedtime, we would get into a
okay.
fist fight because there would
How
be
intensely polar opposites
Oh, yeah.
things become. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no meet in the middle.
No.
There is no middle of the aisle. None of that. Bedtime, that goes out the window. You are the enemy.
Right. So you know, one other thing that happened, one of the people that had the face mask thing on, they went up to the window, then they came back, and I guess someone had sat where they were sitting while they were gone.
Did they come and sit beside you?
They came
Tell
and
me-
sat like right across from me in the same aisle. Like we're as far apart as you and I are right now. Like it's really
Oh,
close.
but thank God they had that mask on.
Look,
How uncomfortable. I'm sorry if you have a mask on and I don't know why. If you sit anywhere in my air, yeah, I'm going to be concerned. It's like one of those things you can't help it.
I want this podcast to be entertaining. I'm overselling a little bit. It really doesn't freak me out that bad. It's just noticeable. Like I see someone in one of those masks, I'm like, I noticed that. There's something wrong. I mean, something, because I don't wear one. You know, like something's wrong. I don't know what it is. So I notice it, you know?
At our pediatrician's office, there are separate waiting areas. You walk in the door and it leads to 2 doors on opposite sides. You can go left or right. Right is for the well children. Left
Appointments.
is for the sick children. And you don't mingle. Why? is every doctor's office not like that? Why is, well, you know, like a place like that, like a urgent care that sees all types of patients.
So what you're saying is we should segregate people?
Why you gotta go to such a dark place? Why?
No, I know what you're talking about. And I remember when we saw that for the first time, I was like, because I didn't put it together at first.
Like, who is, okay, I'm willing, like, I would be willing to hear the argument, okay? Because I'm an open-minded person. I'm not ignorant. It's foolish to not listen to other people's opinions ever.
I'm just giving you a hard time. But I mean, it would be weird. Like,
but who is for that? Who's like, no, I want to sit beside the sick people. I will sit beside them.
Yeah, but what about the sick people? That's going to be the argument. Because, like, what if we go in somewhere and someone looks at you and goes, ooh, gross. You go wait in that room. Don't sit out here with us.
I'd be like, right? I'll try not to cough, too, while I'm in
there's
here.
a difference between...
trying to spread my nasty germs.
Well, there's a difference between kids and adults. The kid thing is really understandable because kids just want to run around and touch everything. Because you've never seen an adult sneeze and
not cover their mouth. You've seen an adult cough and not right.
You're right.
Tell me that they're not just as
you're right.
As bad as kids.
All I'm saying is, I know it's a pipe dream. I would like to make a whole lot of money one day off this podcast, and I think us going, oh, we should segregate people. Maybe just the conversation we don't need to get into, regardless of what.
Until there's a zombie apocalypse, and then like we gonna segregate like heck. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to sickness. That, like, look, germs, they don't see anybody's skin color, their age, their race, their gender, none of that stuff. Germs don't care. We have to be smarter than the germs. And it is smart to not hang out with sick, contagious people. I don't care who you are. I ain't trying to segregate nobody until it comes to sickness.
So she sits across from me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, continue.
I don't care about the mask. I just noticed, like I said, I might have been overselling it just a little bit. Katie, let me tell you what she did. She was watching videos on her phone. Like
out loud?
Yes.
Oh my God, who does that?
Isn't that weird?
That's so rude.
It's weird, right? It's weird.
It's like a waiting room, a packed waiting room full of people.
Yeah. And we're all like being quiet and coughing and sickly, and she's watching videos.
Yeah, that's weird. I would be like, I couldn't do that. That's ballsy to me. I couldn't sit in a quiet, full waiting room watching YouTube videos out loud of just like, you know.
It's like whatever's going on that she's put this mask on her face, it must be pretty bad because she's like, I don't care about society anymore. I'm going to go out burning. I mean, like, you know. So I get called to the back. It's finally my turn. You know, I'm ready to figure out what's going on with my old bum knee. I go get weighed in. By the way, my weight was down like 33% since the last time I went to the doctor or something like that. It was a big win for me. I was proud of myself.
33%?
Oh, yeah. It was something stupid. Like, I haven't gone to the doctor in like a year and a half, 2 years. I go back there. I wait for the doctor. Or she, she asked me a bunch of questions, weird things, you know. She asked me if I did drugs. No. And she goes, have you had any suicidal tendencies? I said, I want to get my knee looked at. I don't know what's happening.
Did they ask you if anyone like has been hurting you or?
Yeah. And I was like, no, my knee hurts because I'm fat and old. I just want you guys to look at that. I'm not suicidal. If I was suicidal, why would I be here trying to get better? Like, no, I don't. Like, what's happening with knees? That these are the questions you have to ask me. So she asked me all these questions, and
I think it's weird. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad they asked those questions, like because there are people out there who really do need for somebody to go, is someone hurting you?
Yeah,
like, do you need help? I'm glad because it is a like a safe place. You're right. In this little waiting room.
Selfish. I'm all, you got me all turned around.
But they'll be like, I'll be like at the gynecologist and they're like, so you still on birth control, and then like they just like they're asking you all these random questions and are like, is anyone hurting you? And it seems like they always like lower their voice and like look at you. Is anyone hurting you at home? Like all accusatory or something. And I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah. Just Like maybe my kids abuse me sometimes. Is that an answer?
Does that count?
Will you do something if I say yes? Like the doctor come to my house and reprimand the kids? Like, be nice to your mother, kiddos.
My gosh. Well, we get through the questions, and she tells me, "Oh, the doctor is going to be in here in a little while." So now I'm waiting again. You know, overall, I was at the doctor's office for like 4 hours. It was out of control how long it took.
Do you feel like you were in there for days?
Yeah.
By the time you walk out, you're like, oh, what day is it?
Yeah, I walk out and like the sun peers into my eyes. I'm squinting.
I haven't seen daylight in so long.
Tumbleweed goes across. There's an eagle screeching in the distance. It's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I yawn. I'm stiff because I've been sitting down for like hours and hours. And then I hobble to the car because, you know, you don't get fixed the first time you're in there. But when she walks out, it's just me. I'm in the room by myself. I don't have my phone out or anything. I'm just sitting there. And I noticed I could hear the people talking in the rooms next to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, like...
Clearly?
Pretty dang clearly.
Did you hear anything juicy?
Well, the people to the left... The lady didn't seem, she was just like, I'm sick, you know, I just want to get it figured out. But she didn't seem like panicked or anything. And well, I guess the lady comes in and goes, you have the flu. And she goes, the flu? I don't feel like I have the flu.
I don't feel flu-like symptoms.
So now I'm like, oh, she must have been one of the people with the mask, you know.
Oh, God. Well, you would hope.
I would hope so, yeah.
Like, can you, at that point, do you even like knock on the wall and be like, hey, did you wear a mask out in the waiting room?
So
I need to know. Should I get tested?
It wasn't anything juicy, but you know. But then the person to the right, they were in there because they fell. I guess like outside and did something to their ankle. It's a lady. She's talking about her ankle, and she's like telling a long, detailed story.
What about like how she hurt her?
Yeah.
And you could hear.
Oh yeah, and I'm sitting here like,
such an invasion of privacy. I'm pretty sure like everybody signs paperwork about this.
Should I have knocked on the wall and been like, just to let you know, I can hear you. And but I'm not. I don't really care about the story. I don't care. You know, there's nothing juicy going on. She fell down, but I'm sitting here thinking, this nurse has got to be like, can you just say that you fell down and hurt your ankle? Like, why are you telling me this crazy long story? And anyway, she tells this long story, and she's just like, oh my gosh, just talk. There's a whole lot of talking. I mean, like, abnormally large amount of talking from this lady. And then I hear the nurse leave, and then the lady keeps talking.
Was anybody in there with her?
No. She was just like, I can't believe I'm having to do this today. And she's like,
just talking to herself.
She was just aggravated and talking to herself, and she talked to herself for some time.
Oh my goodness.
Well, then the doctor came in.
To your room or her room?
No, I'm sorry, to her room. I'm still in my room, just sitting here. I'm just
sitting there.
I'm just like, I wish I could change the channel, you know, like, because she's talking for a long time about nothing, you know. And the doctor asks her, you know, what's going on. And she tells him the story.
The same story?
The same stories. I'm just sitting here going, oh, my ears are going to bleed out. Finally, the doctor that I'm there to see walks in. And he takes a look at me, and I tell him about my knee problems, you know. And I get up on the table. He's messing with my knees and poking at them and stuff. And, you know, asking me questions. And at one point, he put my knees together. And like held both knees with his hands. And I'm laying on my back, you know, and he grabs them.
That's awkward.
First of all, I don't like people looking at my kneecaps. I don't know why. I'm just weird that way. Like when we go to the beach, if I sit in a chair and like my shorts come up above my knees, I'm constantly like trying to pull them down. I don't know. It's weird, right? Well, he grabs my knees with both of his hands. Like I'm laying on my back, you know, I'm laying completely flat out, and grabs my knees and like shoves them together. Well, I'm a fat dude with big legs. So like me putting my knees side by side is uncomfortable. I wouldn't do it on my own, you know?
Yeah.
And then he starts like waving them back and forth together.
Oh my gosh.
And I had my hands down by my side, and I've lost a lot of weight, but I'm still fat. I'm still a fat dude. So when he started shaking my legs, the rest of my body started moving back and forth. I was like, I must look like a giant water balloon sitting on his table. He's just shaking me around. I just want to be like, please tell me there's a good reason. Like, there's a good reason you're doing this. I feel like there was nothing.
Like,
he was
I wonder
like,
if I can.
I wonder how much I can shake this fat man on this table. And he's just shaking my legs back and forth.
He went home at dinner that night. He's like, honey, you're not going to believe what I did to
That was my fear. That was my fear, you know? So then, like, I'm getting, like, self-conscious because my fat's just like moving around.
Floundering.
So I take my arms up and I put them across my chest, you know? So now I'm laying there like a vampire, just trying to hold all my fat together. And he's just shaking me around. And he looks at me and he goes, what did you do to your knee? I said, I got fat and old. He goes, well, it looks bruised. I said, well, it's not bruised. He goes, oh, it's a different color. It's green. I said, green? I started looking at it and I'm like, I don't think. I said, it's not green. I said, I don't know what you're seeing. And at this point, I'm losing all faith. I'm losing all faith in this doctor. As soon as because I got scared for a second. And I start looking at it and I'm like, it don't look green to me, you know? And he goes, well, we're going to get an x-ray and we're going to make sure nothing's broke off or floating around in there.
Gosh.
Like, you know, just like a little chunk is like in my kneecap floating around. He wants to make sure that like a bone didn't chip off or something. We get some x-rays. So, okay. So he tells me where to go. Now I go to another waiting area. And it's the same kind of place. It's the same area where you go to like labs done.
Yeah.
There's an x-ray machine there too. And I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. And the door opens up and the dude with the mullet's head pops out. And he's like, oh, you getting your x-ray done? Come on in here.
Oh,
I was like, oh, here we go. So I go in there and I got to lay on my back again and completely flat, you know, no pillow or nothing. I'm just laying on my back and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Is it just because I'm fat or is that uncomfortable for everybody? Just
to lay on a flat, like,
hard surface,
yeah,
you know?
that's uncomfortable.
And then another lady comes in and I think she was like learning maybe, you know, because he's giving her direction sort of.
Yeah.
By the way, it turns out this dude was incredibly smart. Like you could just talking with him, he is a very intelligent person, and that's why you can't judge people off their haircuts. So then she's getting the x-ray. She's getting ready to do the x-rays of my knees. And she goes, oh, you got to roll your pants legs up. And I'm like, oh, great. I got to show my kneecaps to more people now. So I roll it up a little bit and my knee's laying there. And then she grabs my shorts and goes, that's not high enough. And then starts hiking them up. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't say that out loud. But in my mind, I'm like, hey, I have a penis and you got real close to it. But yeah, it was slightly uncomfortable, you know? Yeah. I went home and changed. I actually was wearing pants. When I came home to get like the insurance cards and stuff, I changed into shorts because I was like, I ain't taking my pants off. I don't like taking my pants off.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea.
Because I mean, doctor's office is weird. You go in there, you'd be like, my arm hurts. They'll be like, get naked and lay under this sheet. What? No, my arm hurts. Take your pants off. Why? Why don't you take my pants off? So I didn't want to take my pants off. So I wore shorts. I get done. Then I had to go wait again because the doctor wanted to look at it before I left. So this was another 20 minutes or so. And he comes to me and he goes, well, I couldn't see anything, so we're going to have to get you with a specialist. I'm probably going to have to get an MRI or something like that. So I've a 4-hour visit and I know nothing.
Nada.
Nothing.
Zilch.
I don't know anything. I don't have a clue. I know nothing. Well, I check out and I go to leave. And when I walk out of the building, I take a right and I'm getting ready to walk into the parking lot. And this big truck comes
Was it the
rolling up.
mullet man?
Big old Ford. It was probably a 1992 F-150, huge tires.
Was it the mullet man?
And it was him. And he goes, good luck, buddy. And then drives off. And I was like,
bless his heart.
Wow,
that is adorable.
What a good dude. It was the perfect way to end that 4-hour excruciating, almost worthless
right?
visit. You know, like it was not necessary. It was absolutely a dumb visit. We're not smart enough, so we're going to send you to somebody smarter.
Yeah, essentially that's what happened.
I think if you go in and you're like, my knee hurts, they should just go, we're going to send you to the knee guy. Not me. If you got a cold, I got it. All I'm going to do is lay you down, I'm going to put your knees together and shake you back and forth and make you jiggle and then send you off.
Well, while you were having your vacation at the doctor's, and I call it a vacation because you got to just sit there in peace and quiet. All you had to listen to was that weird person's YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. You almost got your penis touched. I mean, you know.
It was a good day.
Well, I was at home with the kids. I mean, you know, like normal. But this day, I was like, you know, throughout the month of October, we did lots of fun things for Halloween. We did, you know, crafts and baked goods. And I just try to make it fun. I love Halloween. So we had so much fun with all the Halloween stuff. I was like, let's try to continue that for Thanksgiving. And we just basically tried to do like a couple things per week during October. So I was like, let's do that for November. It was the beginning of November. I was like, first craft, let's make good old fashioned hand turkeys. You know, I'm sure everybody...
Oh, I saw those hanging on the
refrigerator. Yeah, you make them in elementary school. You trace your hand, and your thumb is his little head, and then your fingers are the feathers, and you make little feet and face, and you color it. It's fun times, right? I was like, this will be so simple and easy. So I get the kids gathered around the kitchen table. Everybody's got fall-colored construction paper, and I get out a black washable marker, because I'm going to trace their little hands. Uh-huh. And I knew marker was probably going to get on them. Made sure it was washable. We're good to go. I'm prepared. I was like, simple, easy, fun craft. Not too much to it. Holds everybody's attention for a few minutes. Boom. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do today. And I was going to trace Reagan's hand first because she's super into crafts. She's like, yeah, I'll go first. And as I'm explaining, I'll trace her hands and show them what we're doing. Well, immediately there were so many questions. Like so many questions. And I don't even remember them all. One point I was just like, just hold on. I'm going to trace everybody's hands. It's going to be okay. Just calm down. And but mommy, what is this supposed to be? Why are we doing it like this? Why are you tracing our hands? Why are you using black, mommy? What is this all about? What is the meaning of life, mommy? And I'm like, okay, guys, it's just hand turkeys. Get everybody's hands traced. We're all covered in marker. Their little hands are so small.
It's just hand turkeys.
It's just hand turkeys. You're killing me.
Oh my God.
Riley was
Mommy, please, can you, I'm just curious and I want to learn things about the planet. I would love to know, where did the turkeys come from? Why do we eat them? What's this Thanksgiving thing about? They're just hand turkeys, for the love of God.
Well, Riley was the last one that I got to trace his hands.
Okay.
And by the time I get to him, he's really upset. And I'm trying to trace his hand. And he's like, no, mommy, you're doing it upside down. What? And I just want to be like, first of all, dude, I'm 36. Trust me, I'm an expert hand turkey maker. Like, I got this. And I trace his hands and he's just giving me a hard time. He's upset. And it's like he's not seeing the vision. Mm-hmm. I have to go. And I was like, look, let me color mine in real quick. And I show him, I was like, see, look, I was like, this is how it's supposed to go. And while I was coloring my turkey to try to demonstrate to him, he had flipped his paper over and he had made his own on the back. But this time, he was using his vision because he didn't see my hand turkeys. To him, it was upside down and the fingers were supposed to be the legs.
Oh.
And it was a dinosaur. So he was busy making a dinosaur. And I was like, you know what? He's into it. Fine. He traced his own little hand and everything. Mm-hmm. He went and got his own markers. Mm-hmm. And he's coloring. He's like, I'm going to color my dinosaur blue, mommy. I was like, okay, Riley, color your dinosaur blue. You know, and
we don't know they weren't blue. They could have been blue.
No, we were supposed to be making turkeys.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, and he's 5 and he's having fun coloring his dinosaur. But on the inside, I'm like, but I wanted to hang up your cute little hand turkey on my refrigerator and look at it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now I have the dinosaur of death.
And I'm helping Reagan and I'm helping Reese color the little hand turkeys. And they're just thrilled. They're like, this is awesome. You know, they think the little red gobble hanging down is just the cutest thing. And Riley's over there. He's like, Mommy, my dinosaur's blue. I was like, yeah, good job, dude. It was an awesome looking dinosaur. And he's like, it reminded me of Bob Ross. He's like, Mommy, I'm just going to put a little red right over here. And I said, you do that, Riley. You color your dinosaur however you want, whatever makes you happy, dude. He's like, because the T-Rex ate it. And he's like scribbling red. And I was like,
oh.
These hand turkeys have officially gotten way out of control. And I was like, all right, let's wrap it up.
What kind of joint are you running here, Katie?
I don't know.
Kids, man?
I was like, I just wanted to make hand turkeys with the kids.
You know, one of them still
and
has
it's
a
turned
knife.
into a violent experience.
We never found out who cut up the shower curtain. You know what I did notice?
What'd you notice?
Why was your hand turkey so big?
Because I traced it with like a Crayola marker.
Uh-huh.
You know, like the big white Crayola markers. And so like...
Did you not?
I didn't get super close to my hand. I was trying not to get marker.
It looked like a 7-foot grown man made a hand turkey.
Yeah, it was like, I didn't get super close to my hand because I was trying not to get marker all over my fingers. So, yeah, my handprint came out huge.
I was sitting on the couch or my chair and I could see the refrigerator. And that's when I saw him for the first time. And I was like,
the kids' little bitty handprints.
No, I could tell from the couch. I was like, that is way bigger than my hand. I mean, like, I know that I have small hands. I do.
Hands.
I do. But I was like, she does too. Then whose handprint is that? And I looked at it and I was like, for a second I thought maybe she just freehanded it, you know?
No,
and I was like, no, she ain't freehand draw that. No way. It was giant. It was giant.
The bigger turkey to color, my dear.
With Thanksgiving coming up, we do have something to be thankful for. Something that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Our patrons?
That's right. Patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. Please go to patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show and become a part.
Give us all your money.
Yeah, become a part of our community.
Please. Pretty please.
Fridays. That's your day from here on out. Fridays, you will have a new Patreon episode. It's gonna be lots and lots of Bob and Katie action all up in your ear holes. So go to patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show and become a patron today. You want to talk about ants?
You know, Riley, he comes up to me all the time. Smart behind kid. Mm-hmm. He did it just earlier today. He's like, Mommy, did you know ants da 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 da? And he'll tell me like these facts about ants. And one day he was like, Mom, did you know that ants don't like the smell of cinnamon? And I was like,
what? Huh? Come again? The kids will be telling me some stuff, and I'll be Googling it.
I Googled it afterwards. I was like,
was he right?
Yes.
They don't like cinnamon?
Yeah.
Smart behind a little PBS kid watching monsters.
Yeah, I was like, dang, how he gonna know more about ants than me? And he's all the time just rattling off facts about ants and dinosaurs. And yeah, sometimes it's stuff I didn't know. And I was like, well, where do you learn that at?
Well, let me teach you something about some ants. Because I read a story the other day and I was like, this is insane. There was a Soviet bunker where nuclear bombs had been stored. And in 2013, I guess some people discovered these ants that were trapped inside of one of these bunkers. And they
was it like airtight?
Yeah, it was like it wasn't airtight, but it was pretty much. Apparently there was like a pipe leading into the room and these ants had been falling through this pipe and landing into this room and they couldn't get back out. They found them in 2013 and I guess had a team come in and because it was sort of, they were treating it sort of like a natural environment type of situation.
Almost like a giant aquarium. Yeah. Like, people that would have an ant farm. There you go. That's what I'm trying to think of. It's like a gigantic ant farm. So they studied it?
Yeah, they studied it.
That's fantastic.
And they didn't want to kill them because nobody was going to be using these bunkers. So they were like, well, just hopefully they'll survive, and they're probably not because the majority of it was worker ants, no queens, and no offspring could be found. So these ants were doomed. You know what I mean?
So we thought.
Or so we thought until 2019.
So this was, what did you said it was
2013.
So 6 years later?
6 years later, they go in and while they're there, they're like, oh, let's check on this room. It's probably got dead ants everywhere. Not only had they not died off, but now there were over 1 million ants in this bunker.
Wow.
How they were surviving is when an ant would die, they would eat it. They had become cannibal ants. They adapted to this environment of no food.
So they just did they kill each other?
No,
or
they
just
didn't kill each
waited
other.
until
When an ant would die, they would eat it. So, with no queen, how did the group multiply?
That is a good question.
It turns out there was another area where an ant nest was growing and they had queens and they had offsprings. And the ants from this hive or whatever it's called were falling down that pipe and landing in that room. So as this anthill up here kept growing, it was dumping ants off into this other one.
Oh, wow.
And it was just
so it was kind of like their population was being fed by this other colony.
So then I guess the people decided, hey, we need to dig a hole, so they opened up a hole to let these ants escape.
Just do their thing, though, huh? That's an awesome story.
Well, they came back, I guess, a little while later, and the ants are almost gone. And I'm like, why didn't they do that in 2013? Why did they just let them ants there to die? And then they came
I mean,
back,
there wasn't nearly as many.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah,
you know, so I guess they were like, well, it's not it wasn't enough to really worry about doing anything. Wow, that is so cool, though. Well, on your informative note, because I love to learn. My favorite thing is to watch documentaries. I watch.
We need to do that thing where we do the documentaries and then record Patreon episodes again. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I'm such a nerd, and I love to learn things. And that was very informative. And
that's what we should do next. Can we? Hey, I know I'm interrupting you. Can we do that next?
Yeah.
Let's find a documentary and then record an episode.
I love documentaries. So
that's what we'll put out because this episode's going to come out on Monday.
By the way, if anyone has ever watched a really good documentary, especially if it's on Netflix or Hulu or something, and you want to let me know, I'm always up for recommendations.
Sure. Let's do that.
I don't know why my brain didn't want to think of that word. I was trying to say references.
We need references for documentaries, please. We're trying to make our
3 references per documentary. I'm going to be checking those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let me inform you on something because something happened to me and it was one of the most eye-opening experiences.
Well, tell me.
As a parent.
Let's do it.
So the other day, I'm doing something in the kitchen, washing dishes,
Some
something. I don't know. Whatever.
Home task.
And the kids, they're playing around, right there near me. I'm not watching them, I have my back to them or something, but I could hear them. And I'm listening to them. They're playing. And they're playing this game, and they are pausing each other. Do you hear me?
Pausing each other?
They are pausing each other. Let me tell you how this game works. Riley would run up to Reagan, and he would go, pause.
Oh, they're playing a game with each other, not like a video game.
Yeah, no, a game with each other. He would go, pause, as she would freeze.
Okay.
Wouldn't move a muscle. I mean, they were taking this seriously.
Really?
They were eating. That's what they were doing. Or I think Reagan was finishing up eating. Because I remember he paused her mid-bite like this.
Uh-huh.
She had her fork up, food on it, and she didn't move. She didn't eat it. And I'm standing there going, well, I will be god dang who? Why did I not know this wasn't an option?
There's a freeze button? They came with freeze buttons?
I can just pause my kids anytime I want and they do it? How has nobody told me this?
That's great.
Right? I was like, what the heck? Because I'll be like, stop, don't do that, don't do that, don't. You know?
So have you started saying pause to them?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
Because I feel like I need to, you got to spring that one on them when they're least expecting it. Mm-hmm. Right? But I was like, this is the greatest idea. Every parent should know about this.
We're going to do it tonight.
I am. You can pause your kids.
Huh. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to get reflective tape. Okay? Just bright, super bright reflective tape. And I'm going to wrap it around my Roku remote control because I'm tired of coming home and not being able to find it because it's tiny and it's black and our bookshelves are black and our entertainment center is black and I lose it because our kids can't run with these remotes and not put them back where they belong.
Well, put some on my daggone phone case while you're at it, because I just got a new phone case. Mm-hmm. My old phone case was like bright pink, and this one is black.
Yeah.
And I can't ever freaking find my phone. I sit it down.
Well, that's your fault.
And it blends in with stuff. I'm like, I hate this phone case.
Why? I have to
go get me
carry
another
two
hot pink one.
phones for work.
And you have black cases on both of them. I don't
And
know
why
how.
would you go and get a black case?
That's why you all. It makes so much sense to me now. That's how you always be losing your phone.
Yeah, because if you lay it down anywhere, we really need to change our taste in decor. We're going to have to get like yellow shelves, like canary yellow. That way, if we put something anywhere, we can see it. 100%.
Everything in our house is going to be white. Be like, so we can find things.
Yeah. It's like that room in like movies where they go in. It's just completely, absolutely white.
You know what else we should do? Let's bring back the covering our furniture in plastic. Did your grandma
like at your grandma's house?
Yeah, you know when you was a kid and you went to your grandma's house and the furniture was covered in plastic, so you ain't getting Cheeto fingers all over it.
I didn't have that in my family. But I know what you're talking about because I've been to people's house that had the plastics and it made noises every time you moved.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Anybody who has ever sat on a couch that had plastic on it, you know the sound and you know the feeling when the back of your legs stuck to it too when you were wearing shorts. Mm-hmm.
You know what I did see in my family and in a lot of other places, and I didn't realize it was a thing. That ugly behind Afghan, it was like multicolored and square. It had the holes in it, and people just laid it over their couch. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was always crocheted or knitted by.
Yeah, and you try to like if you, and what good is that blanket? What good is it? Because it don't keep you warm. It doesn't. And it's uncomfortable. Like you try to wrap up in it and your fingers go through the holes of your toes, like your toes get caught up in it.
My mom.
Why are you trying to Netflix
we had
and
one.
chill?
It was like, like I think maybe brown squares with like red or orange trim, and they had like little circle things in the middle.
Yeah.
And there was like a hole in the middle of each circle, and the circles were different colors. And we tore that blanket up as kids because you would try to cover up in it, and your fingers and toes would stick in the little holes.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people who don't be cutting my toenails like I should. So my toenails get caught up in that thing in a second.
It didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Do you have one of them feet rock things? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What exactly does that do?
It smooths your feet. Like it scrubs off the dead skin.
Can you do that on my feet?
That's asking a lot. How about we take you somewhere and pay somebody?
I don't want to go out in public and do it. What if I get you like a sander?
Oh my God.
My problem is
Like an electric one?
no, I need to smooth my feet out because I can't sleep at night. Every time I move my feet around, they just make this scratching noise on the sheets, like. And I was like, my feet.
Part of that is the
love.
horrible cheap sheets we have right now.
Oh yeah, because we had to go out and buy some sheets on the fly. Remember that? We just need to go order some new ones.
Yeah, they're like polyester blend or something.
Yeah,
They ain't no Egyptian cotton.
Is that the thing? Is that I don't know about sheets. I knew there was like there's some number that's important.
Oh, like are you talking like the thread count?
Like the bigger the is
These
it the
I don't
bigger
know.
the
These
thread
are
count?
Walmart sheets. I don't know what the thread count
How
is.
many patrons do we need to get the kind of sheets you
I don't
want?
know. A lot more.
A lot more. We could work. We just got to start dancing.
Like with our clothes off. What kind of dancing are you talking about?
I guess we need to find out how many patrons we can get first. How much, Katie? What's the dollar amount? Like, what's the point where you're like,
what's the going rate?
yeah,
I don't know.
for a
I don't
naked
know.
Katie on Patreon? Well, it's not gonna happen because I had to leave you because I'm a jealous dude. No, we just need to perform more, better, good stuff. We're gonna put some great stuff out there. We've got some good episodes on Patreon, actually. Some stuff I'm really proud of, but I don't know. I guess our kids are downstairs waiting on us. We need to go hang out with them. Stop being recluses.
They're watching Brian's.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how we
World.
shifted into this new era of podcasting for us? We used to like have to sneak away and do it at night while they were asleep.
Yeah.
But now they're old enough, they're just like doing some stuff and let's go record a
I was like,
podcast.
please just do this for a few minutes and just try to not make a whole lot of noise.
I still have that
Well, and
fear,
then we have
though.
locks on everything too.
Yeah. We're going to go downstairs and there's going to be something wrong, because we've been up here for an hour. You know what you have to do now? You got to go make me some salad. We're doing this diet thing again.
I thought you were cooking dinner.
Oh, am I cooking dinner? Oh, we got to get out of here then. Find your laugh.
Find your happy.